Okay, so hello again, and I am back with our tutorial. And as you might have seen here, I have created the intake ducting of the aircraft. Before I proceed, I just want to tell you something why I have been quite away for some time. Because when modeling an aircraft, there's always gonna be like a specific part of the aircraft or a specific detail of the aircraft that you want to get it approximately close to the real aircraft. And for me, to be honest, this is gonna be for me. This has been the hardest part to create the intake ducting, since as I have noticed already before starting to create this video tutorial or creating the 3D model, I've already noticed that the intake ducting of this aircraft is quite different. And for me, if I'm going to tell you, is that it's quite a complex shape to create. So I have been away since I have been doing this on my side, doing trial and error how to create it, and just to get as close or approximately close to the shape on the real aircraft. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Would it be that close, or would it be really that similar to what the real aircraft does? But this is how I made the intake ducting. So for me, I have observed that the intake ducting is on this side right here, or on this portion is it there has been like a gap between the body right here and at this intake ducting right here, and then again it would blend again with the body right here. So if we're gonna be or if we're gonna go back to what where we have left, so that's gonna be the vertical stabilizer. And you might notice I'm getting back again to the engine nacelle or the intake ducting section. So I have already purposely left this section out since we're gonna be creating the this section right here. So again, just a quick heads up. This is gonna take a lot of patience to create and on your side. So and also if you don't get it for the first time, just repeat the video, or if you still don't get it, you also want to ask me about how I did. But don't worry. Um, I'll proceed now on creating this, and I'll show you how this step-by-step guide how I created it. To get started first, what I would like to do is copy this body and also this body right here. So what we would do first again is clean up the model, hide the components that we know we don't need yet. So hide the vertical component and also this. And now what we have to do is find this body in the browser. So the easiest way is to select, right click, and then find in browser. After that, it already shows here that this is body 2. And I'll just hover here and it says here that this is body 7. So what we need to copy is body 2 and body 7. So I'll select both of them. Select body 2, select body 7, right click on my mouse and select copy. After I have copied it, I'll hover here, right click on my mouse and paste the body. So no need to adjust anything here. Just immediately press OK. And there we have it. We have already copied the two bodies. So if I hide this, the physiological components, we could see here that we have copied the bodies and it is already here. So we have already the two bodies here. Next is, wait, I'll just show this the two bodies that we have here. And then next is we're gonna be using this tree. So again, on this surface, and then select the tree. Now it's asking us what the trim tool that we're gonna be using. So the tool that we're gonna be using is this face right here, or this side face. So I'll select this, and now it's asking us what part of the body are we gonna be trimming. So for us, we're gonna be trimming this. So one, you will see it's already red since I selected it. And then next is here. So two. So after I hit OK, this would already be trimmed into half. So press OK, and there we have it. So now we have trimmed the aircraft or the bodies. Next, what we have to do is create a sketch again. So I'll select create sketch, select this plane right here or the top face, show the canvas so that we could trace this outline right here. So I'll select line and then start here and then end the second point right here. Press the check mark once you're done. Press escape to exit the tool. And what I just have to make sure is that it is perfectly aligned at this outline right here. So that's okay for me. What I just have to do is finish the sketch. After that, we have to create a construction plane at this line again. So I'll select this line, construct tool, plane at an angle, and then rotate this or enter a specific value of 90 degrees. And then press OK. I'll hide the canvas since for us to have a better look of this. And then what we have to do is split the body into two. So we are already here, that's solid. And what we just have to select is split body. So before I proceed, I would show you something first. So a while ago, what we have used is the trim tool, correct? So the difference is when we use the trim tool, so let's show it first. When we use the trim tool and then select the tool and then select what's going to be removed and press OK, you would see it here that, well, it splits the body also, but the difference is it doesn't retain the other half of the body. If I undo this and again go at the solid, instead select split body, and then now it's asking us what the body to split. So only this one, the splitting tool, and this one only, or this face, and then press OK. We hide the construction plane, and you would see it here that it splits the body to two. The only difference between the trim tool is it retains the other half of the body. So for me, since I'm gonna be still using this body, I would use the split body. After we have split the body into half, I'll be creating again a sketch. So I'll create a sketch. I'll select this face. And then this time, let me unhide the canvas. And a while ago, we created a simple horizontal line here. Let me hide the canvas. So what we're trying to project now is this edge right here. So this is also gonna be creating a perfectly or just a simple horizontal line. So for me, I'll press P on my keyboard. And then since we're only projecting an edge of the body, no need to select bodies, but instead just leave it to specified entities. And then I'll just project this one. And then press OK. Finish sketch. And now next is I'll I'll be showing again the construction plane that we have created at the first horizontal line that we have created. And then again create a sketch. So make sure to select this plane. Let me rotate the view so that you could see what I'm trying to project here. And then project this outline right here, or the edge right here. So you see why I have splitted the body into half for me to, or for us to get the outline right here. And then second would be this one. And then press OK once you're done. And then that's it. So I'll switch to the front view. I'll hide the bodies, show the canvas, and on this projected line, we need to offset it. Since I have told you, or I have mentioned a while ago at the start of this video, we need to have a gap between the intake ducting and at the body of the aircraft. Since there is no since there is no specific distance, don't worry, you could just offset it at any distance that you want, just making sure that you're still referencing at the canvas right here. And for me, I'll just offset it just around here or maybe here. So there's no specific distance, just eyeball it where you want it to offset. So maybe just right there. And then press OK. And then finish the sketch. And there we go. Okay, so after we have offset this one, I'll again show the bodies, or maybe this body only. So the nacelle for the engine. I'll hide these two bodies, I don't need them. And then what we're gonna be doing is loft this to this outline right here. So I'll select loft tool, select this edge right here, and then the profile tool will be here. And then make sure, don't forget, before pressing OK, make sure that both of them are touching. And then press OK. And then since this is not at the correct orientation, let me select this, go to modify tool, reverse normal, press OK. So there we have it. So let me find the sketch. So Fusion 360 automatically closes or hides the sketches once it is already used. But I'm still not finished yet. So there would still be, or I would still name these sketches since I'm gonna be referencing the intake down from here. So next is we have to extrude the offsetted outline from here. So make sure, select this, the offset line we have just created. Select extrude and then extrude it at this direction. So there's no specific distance, just make sure to maybe add an excess. Or make sure to go past at this line right here. So for me, I'll just maybe 700, that's okay. And then press OK. Let me hide this body. I don't need it. I don't need this yet. So I'll hide this. And we have to trim this section right here. So what I have to do is again use the trim tool. So you would notice this part of this video, you would always see that we're going to be using the trim tool to create the intake ducting for the aircraft. So I'll select the trim tool. It's asking us what tool to use, so this one. And then we're going to be trimming the excess. And then press OK. Okay, we're not yet done. We're going to be using again the trim tool because I need to trim this portion right here and also right here. So I'll select again trim tool. For now, we'll select this body right here and then trim this to 1 and then 2. Press OK once you're done. Okay, again, we're not yet done. So we need to use again the trim tool. So for me, what I need to trim is this portion right here and this portion right here. Sorry, let me hide this sketch. Sorry, so you will see. So what we need to trim is this portion right here and this portion right here. So again, trim tool or trim. It's asking us what trim tool to use. So this one, trim this, trim this. Okay. So there we have it. Now we are getting somewhere. You see, if I hide the bodies here, you would see that we already have the silhouette of the intake ducting for our air. After we have trimmed the body to create the intake ducting, again, we need to create a sketch. So yes, right now we are actually being repetitive on some tools that we're using. But we're gonna be again creating a sketch. And before we do you still remember when we have created the entire fuselage component? Well, I'm asking you this since we're gonna be using the sketches that we already have when we started creating the fuselage section. So for me, I'll go at the fuselage component. Hide the bodies, I don't need that. What I need is these sketches. So I'll unhide the or all the sketches that we have used to create the fuselage body. And then what I need is this line right here. So this line right here. And then again, create a plane at an angle and then rotate it at 90 degrees. And then press OK. So you see, this is also my technique and also an efficient technique, maybe also used by or other modelers who also do this. So you could always use the a specific sketch that you have created to uh, use it again. So for us, we have used it again to create a construct. So I don't need the fuselage component. I'll hide again the fuselage component along with it, the sketches below it is gonna be hidden as well. And now what we have is this construction plane. So what we have to do now is create a rectangle from this construction plane. So I'll select this, create a sketch, and then we'll create a rectangle. Okay, I am at the top view. Let me hide the bodies first. And then what I'll do is make sure to create a rectangle that would occupy these two horizontal lines that we already have created. But for me, I exaggerated it a little bit too much, so but that's okay. So this is gonna be our rectangle here. And if I unhide the bodies, you would see it here that it's quite big. But that's okay. Our only goal is to occupy this the two horizontal lines that we already have. So to take note of them. And then after that, finish the sketch. Okay, so because I haven't unhide the sketch, so there we have. So we already have the rectangle here, and then we have to patch it. So select patch and select this rectangle right here. Press OK. And then let me see. Okay, so there we have it. So now what we're gonna be doing again is we're gonna be using again the trim tool. So I'll hide the bodies again. So I just need the rectangle first. Hide. I'll use the trim tool. The tool that we're gonna be using is this one, and then trim this right here. So again, I selected the first simple horizontal line, and then I'll select this. Press OK. Okay, why? Let me try that again so nothing happened. Press OK. Okay, there you go. So it was just only a glitch. So again, I'll trim this one again. So I'll select trim. The trim tool is gonna be the second horizontal line, and then trim this right here. Press OK. Okay, so now I'll unhide the other bodies. So we're not done yet. We're still gonna be trimming this rectangle right here. So I'll select the trim tool again. I'll select this body right here. Okay, let me hide these sketches. That's why, or you couldn't see it here. So again, I'll use the trim tool. I'll select this body right here. I'll trim this, press OK. Okay, we're not done yet. We're going to be using again the trim tool. So I'll select trim. Now, the trim tool is this one, and then trim this here. Press OK. Now we have this a portion right here. After we have already had the surface right here, what we need to do now, or the next step, is proportionately trim this into half. So how I would do it is I'll create again a sketch, and then I'll select the face right here, and then let me hide the bodies first, making sure that the if you still remember our two horizontal lines we have created will project those two. So project this, and then press OK. Let me hide the other sketches that we don't need since we only need these two. And then what we have is, or what we have to do is break this link, and then we have to find the midpoint of these two lines. So for me, the technique is I just create a line and then go here, just create a perfectly horizontal vertical line. I'll turn this again. Our technique to find the center point is over around here, and you would see there's a triangle beside the crosshair, or the crosshair, and that's where I would start it, and then just end it right here. Press the check mark, and then finish the sketch. Okay, so again, I have hidden the sketches, so there you go. Then what we have to do now is, again, proportionately trim the body or the surface into half. So for me, I'll just trim it. I'll select this. I'll trim this, or the forward surface of this section right here. Press OK. And then I'll unhide the bodies. And then there we have it. Next up, after we have the surface right here, this is already okay. We need to proceed on trimming this body first. We just hide the sketch so that we could focus on what we're trying to work on here. And then I'll select trim. I'll select this body right here, and then trim the excess here. So 1, 2, okay. And there we have it. So now this is perfectly trimmed and blended to the body right. After that, we need to copy this body, this that we just have trimmed. So that's going to be body 20. So I'll select, right click, copy, over here, right click, paste. No need to move since this is the correct position. So just immediately press OK. And let me hide the body 20. And body 25, by the way, since this is only going to be a guide and later on we will remove this, for me to not get confused, my technique is I'll rename this. So I'll right click this body, rename, and then just name it guide, temporary. And that's okay. And then again, we're not done yet. So we have to trim this guide body right here. So I'll be using the line from where we have created this. So I'll go again at the sketches. If I remember, that's going to be sketch 34. So we have it. So I'll select trim, use this as the trim tool. select this portion right here to be trimmed or to be removed. Press OK. Hide the sketch. And there we have it. So this is what I want. And also at the bottom. Okay, so there you go. You have this as well. So that's perfect. Okay, so next is we have again to create a sketch. So I'll create a sketch. And then for this time, you don't have to specifically select a specific face. But for me, I'll just select this side face right here. Since we're only gonna be since only we're gonna be creating a 3D sketch. So I'll select just this face right here. And then what I have to do is I'll hide these two bodies right here. Since we just need to focus on this one. So I'll hide this body 19 and also body 21 and hide those. And since I have mentioned already, we're gonna be creating a 3D sketch. It doesn't matter what face you are creating a sketch. So I'll be using a 3-point spline. I'll select this point right here, 1, second point right here, 2, third point right here, 3. And then press the check mark once we are done. What I do need to make sure is, okay, that's out. The third line, I didn't snap it right here. So let me undo that and let's try it again. So point line, first point would be here, second point would be here, third point, press the check mark. Okay, much better. And we have, don't finish the sketch yet, so we have to create the or we have to put a constraint at the 3 tangent handles that we have here. So for the first tangent handle, I'll just create a horizontal or apply horizontal or vertical. Okay, so that's wrong. So let me try that again. Instead, I'll use the tangent constraint. So I'll make sure that the tangent line is perfectly tangent at the sketch right here. Select this line and then select this outline right. And then for this, before I apply a constraint here, what I would try to do is I'll select this point of this tangent handle right here, M on my keyboard, and then move it closely parallel to being, let's say, closely parallel to being horizontal, and then press OK. And then now I could just apply a horizontal or vertical constraint. There we go. So take note, from this first tangent handle, the constraint that I have applied is tangent constraint. And for this, I have applied a horizontal or vertical constraint. And then last is, well, I don't think I need to add a constraint here. And just proceed on finishing the sketch. So again, like I've told you, since this has been, or for me, this I have already created this on my side, or I have tried this multiple times. So you really have to experiment with or what specific constraint are you trying to apply, just to make sure you are getting closely to the shape that you're trying to create. For me, let us proceed on lofting these two outlines right here. So I'll loft this, and then loft this right here, and then select rails. The rails would be this one. How about us applying tangency? Okay. Well, actually, we don't need to apply tangency here. How about here? Well, same as here. So we don't need to create. We'll just leave them to be connected as is, and then press OK once you're done. We're not finished yet. We need to extend these edges. So I'll extend this. Extend it right here. Okay, that's okay. And then also extend this at this direction. Okay, and then press OK. So if I unhide the bodies, you would see it here that this is already, or we are already creating this section right here. The last thing that we need to do is now is to trim again the excess bodies right here. So we'll use the trim tool. Select this as the tool. Okay, let's zoom in and then trim this one. Press OK. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So last is, again, select this as the trim tool, this right here, and then trim this. Wow, perfect. So now we have already this section right here. So this isn't at the correct orientation. So select this, reverse normal, press, and then there we have it. We are already, or we are done. So that's the good news about this. So I know we have, if I'm trying to if I'm going to be recapping what we have just did on this video, we have repetitively used creating a sketch, using construction or creating a construction planes, and also, of course, trimming excess bodies. So again, what we just have to do now is, for me personally, I wouldn't, the intake ducting that we just have created, I wouldn't put the components on the fuselage component. I would just separate them into another component. So for me, for my reason is that, so if in case I want to go back or review this section right here, it would be much more easier for me. I wouldn't need to go back on too much of the sketches right here. So that's my purpose right here. Okay, so now we have to proceed on putting the intake ducting to its components. So let us try that. So I'll write it here and then new component. I'll name it intake ducting and then press OK. And then we have to find the bodies. So this one, body 22, and then this one right here, body 22, and then this one here is body 27. So 22, 23, and then 27. Again, let us try our shortcut where we won't individually move it. So how about if we just select, we already know that it has been created from sketch 32 to sketch 37. If I drag it to intake ducting component, let's just wait. Okay, so there has been an error. So what I'll just have to do is select body 22, body 23, body 27, and then move them to the intake duct component. Let me just hide intake duct component, and then I just have to remove all these bodies right here. So for me, I'll be honest. So some things like this, my knowledge is quite limited, and I couldn't move these sketches right here. What I would just do is I wouldn't move them. I just um we'll just stay them here. So what we just have to do is just rename them. That this was the sketch 32 was created from intake ducting, and then same for the other sketches that we have. here, rename as well. So I'm just repeating the process here since I couldn't move the sketches and I'm having an error here. And also for the construction planes. So I know that's gonna be what's that plane for? I think that's well for here I just leave it as it is. So I won't go here as much. I'll just focus on these sketches right there. So this is important since if we're gonna be recapping how we did the intake ducting, and for sure, if you're gonna be making models, other airplane models in the future, and if they have similarities on creating some parts, you could just go back and review how you did that part. So for me, this is how I did it. So I just moved the bodies at the component, at its respective component, and then running these sketches uh, with intake ducting following this sketch number. And there we go. So let's check our bodies. So if I unhide all the bodies, let me hide the sketches and the body. Okay, we forgot one thing. So we need to also stitch the bodies right here. So one, two, three. Okay. Oh, sorry. I forgot one thing. So it's one, two. Okay, there we have it. And then we need to mirror this. Your plane is this one as well. And then press OK. Wow, there we have it again. So we already have this intake ducting. I know it's not quite similar to the aircraft or the real aircraft, but it's as close as we can get uh, to the actual intake ducting of this aircraft right here. I'm pretty sure if you have still have time, if you could still explore much more of this, you would have your personal techniques on how you would do this. But for me now, I would just leave it as it is. And you would see it here. If we look at here, you would see there's like an illusion that it looks like the body is one or is here. If you look at this portion, right, it's quite blended right here. But again, the if you look at here, you would see here that the intake ducting has a gap between this. So there we have it. So before I end this video right here, how about let's add already an appearance so that you could have or you would be excited on how this aircraft would look like. So for me, I'll go here, right click, appearance, and then if I'm correct, this plane is a carbon fiber, right? But for me, I'll just add the paint. I'll select powder coat rough, and then I would choose powder coat rough black. And then just drag it here, the fuselage component. Also at the wings component, and same as on the other components. Let me add them, and then close. So would you look at that? So that's currently a perfect. Well, not sorry, not really perfect, but as close as to what we're trying to create. So does that really look good? So how about let's check on render settings. So there we have it. Okay, so we are done with the hard stuff. To be honest with you, the hard stuffs that we did here is the fuselage and then this section right here. And if you have get past here, what we're left off with now is the windows, the cockpit section. From there, we are done with the modeling of display. So thank you so much again. I'll get back to you with the cockpit window section.